Good morning. Last class we started with the lesson that is Union Legislature. So already many topics regarding the Union Legislature. We have talked, especially the introduction. We have talked about Parliament and Indian government. Then we get into the concepts that is two houses of the Parliament. So where you studied in detail about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, where we had detailedly what is the election of Lok Sabha and what is the election of Rajya Sabha, composition, qualification, and session, languages they can use. Okay, and the sessions. Okay, so like this, many several topics we have discussed in the two houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And so today's class, so we will go with the last topic of the lesson. So where we are concluding the lesson, that is the first wing or first organ of our country, that is a legislature, by talking a concept called powers and functions of the parliament. So we are not going in detail about the powers and functions, of the parliament. Just a few important powers and functions. So we are going to discuss here. So when you come to class 10th, so we will be talking in detail about the powers and functions of the parliament. So here if you see, there are four powers and functions of the parliament I have taken here. The first one is called as a legislative power, then executive power or control over the executive we call it, then judicial power, then elective power or electoral powers we call it. Okay, and first one by one we will discuss, then we will go with the last the small topic, that will be the budget. So when we talk about the legislative powers, of the parliament, the first and foremost legislative power is the parliament can frame new laws on any subject, especially union or concurrent list. Okay, so already I have discussed in the two houses of the parliament. When I have talked about union list and concurrent list. Okay, the subjects which are there in the union list and the concurrent list, there is 97 subjects and as well as the 47 subjects. So in that, the parliament is the only one which can make laws, or which can modify the law, modify or making a law. Okay, so that can be done so only by the parliament. Okay, that is the one concept so which we are having it. And the second one, if you see, money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. Okay, already I have said money bill. Okay, so money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha. What is that money bill? Is nothing but budget, annual budget. Okay, so always the money bill can introduced only in Lok Sabha. So among two houses, the money bill will be introduced by the only the house which is called as Lok Sabha. Okay, no Rajya Sabha can introduce money bill. Okay, the money bill can be introduced in India, so only by an Lok Sabha house. So that's the one concept so which we are having it. And the next one, we are having, so that is the parliament can also pass laws on the subjects under the state list. Okay, so state list, if necessary. Okay, if necessary, in state list subjects, the parliament also can. Okay, if necessary only. It's not as well. So parliament can also interfere in the subjects which is related to the state list, especially that will take up where the parliament will interfere in the state list subjects, that is at the time of state emergency and all, when it is proclaimed. So during that time, the subjects which are there in the state list, that time the parliament can interfere and they can make a law with the state legislature. That's the one aspect so which we are having it. Then the parliament can introduce a bill to an amendment. Okay, and as you all know, in India, amending the constitution, so that is given only to the parliament. Okay, amend is nothing but remodifying. Okay, remodifying. Already the law, or already the law is there in the Indian constitution, that we are just remodifying. Now, for example, earlier the voting rights in India was 21, but now it has been remodified and it has been made to 18 years. Okay, that's the thing. But modifying or already the law is existing. Only just you are remodifying, or you are just removing the outdated laws and making an amendment. So amending the constitution, making an amendment to the Indian constitution, that can be done only by the parliament. Okay, so these are the four the legislative powers of Union Parliament we are having it. And the next one, if you see, that is executive powers. Okay, executive powers, or we call it as an control over the executive, we call it. Okay, so in that, the first and foremost, the functions so which we are having it, so that is nothing but, that is, the parliament keeps a watch over the government. So parliament is the one which always keeps watch over the ruling government. Okay, ruling government in the sense, all the ministers who are called as council of ministers. Okay, all the ministers are kept under watch by the parliament. Okay, both the houses, they are the people who watch. That's nothing but the executive power, inspecting and supervising all the council of ministers, all the ministers. Okay, so that is the one of the executive powers, so which we are having it. And the next one is vote of no confidence. Okay, there is a motion called vote of no confidence. If this vote of no confidence, if the particularly this motion is passed on the council of ministers, then the entire ministry and entire government will resign. Okay, all the ministers has to resign, and we will go for a new election. Okay, midterm election we call it. Midterm election. Okay, we will go for a midterm election if a vote of no confidence is passed on the council of ministers. The entire ministry has to resign. If they resign, means the government gets dissolved. Okay, this is the very speciality of the vote of, and vote of no confidence can be used only in the Lok Sabha house. Okay, and the members of parliament can exercise a check on the working of the government. Okay, the members of the parliament, they can have an exercise or checking or inspecting the works of the government, especially all government policies, whatever the laws or whatever the policies that is being introduced in India. And even they can question any ministers. Any ministers are questioned by the members of parliament, they are supposed to answer that question. They cannot oblige. Okay, so that's the one aspect so which we are having it. Then parliament can also move a joint motion. Okay, this is the one more type of motion. Okay, so adjoint motion, motion is nothing but when there is some urgent attentions which takes place in India, or urgent, suddenly something happens in India. Now, for example, a train accident or earthquake or a flood. These are all the natural disaster which will take place without the knowledge. Okay, so during such situation, in parliament every day there will be their own timetable to be discussed. So whenever the adjournment motion is passed, that is when there is some urgent necessaries or urgent need is there in our country, so that daily agenda or daily timetable will be kept aside, and they will talk about the urgent attention is required, what the measures can be taken if there is a heavy flood, or if the earthquake has taken up, or a train accident where there is large numbers, death. So like that. Okay, so during any urgent matters to be discussed in the parliament, okay, so during that time the parliament uses the adjoint motion. Okay, these are all the control over the executive powers and functions, so which we are having it. So next we are having, so that is judicial powers. Okay, so the next what we are having is, so that is judicial powers. Okay, so the judicial powers is nothing but the parliament can impeach. Okay, the parliament can impeach or remove the top officials of India. Okay, so we are having top officials in India like president, vice president, judges of Supreme Court, High Court, election commissioner, and auditing general of India. Okay, they are called as top officials. Okay, when they make a mistake, then who can remove? Okay, when they make a mistake, so who can remove them? So that can be removed by, they can be removed by only the parliament. We will not take them to a judiciary system. Okay, so to remove the top officials, parliament will use a method which is called as impeachment method. Okay, impeachment method means if any top officials, if they violate, okay, or if they go against the constitution, they can be removed by the parliament. Simply they cannot remove. 14 days they have to give a notice to the particular top official. Then after 14 days, they have to come and address first in Lok Sabha House, then in Rajya Sabha House. Okay, with the 2/3 majority, if they agree, okay, we should remove this particular top official, then a joint session, both the houses will come together, then only the top official can be removed. Simply by passing an impeachment method, we cannot remove a top officials. Okay, and one thing you keep in mind, when impeachment method is used on the top official, only they can be removed from the office. They cannot be punished. Since they are top officials of our country, we are not supposed to punish them. Only we can remove from their office. Okay, that is the one aspect. So that is judicial power we are having. Then next we are having electoral or elective powers. Okay, electoral or elective powers. So the parliament plays an important role in the election of president and the vice president. Okay, vice president and the presidents, they have been elected by the parliament members, and even the speaker and the deputy speaker of Lok Sabha is elected by the parliament, and even the Rajya Sabha, okay, the vice president and as well as the deputy chairman, they have been elected, but that's I have not given here, so that's not required. So that when you come to 10th standard, you will be having it. Now only the electoral, the functions or the elective functions of the Union Parliament is, that is election of, president and the vice president we are having. So these are the four important powers and functions of Parliament, so which we are having it. And here I just said that money bill can originate or introduce only in Lok Sabha. So to that money bill, one example we are having, so that is budget. Okay, every year the annual budget is being given to us by an ruling party. Okay, what is the annual budget? If you see, that is the income and expenditure of the government. Okay, the 1 year income and the next 1 year the expenditure what the government is going to do, that is given in the form of a budget, which is called as a money bill. Okay, and that can be introduced only by an Lok Sabha House. Okay, and presented in the Lok Sabha House, only Lok Sabha House money bill, and it is passed by the parliament. Okay, after the agree of both the houses only, the budget is passed to us. Then when it is being presented in the parliament, so what happens to this annual budget is, one is economy cut. Somewhere, some subjects, some funds will be reduced, or some bills will be rejected, and some will be accepted. This is the three procedures will take for an annual budget when it enters the parliament. Okay, cut in the budget, reject the budget, few areas, and accept the bill. Okay, this is nothing but annual budget, so which we are having it. So that's about the powers and functions of the parliament, so which we are having. So here we end the chapter, so that is the union legislature. So once again, the lesson once you just go through it, and very important powers and functions, and the previous class, especially the two houses of the parliament. So what we talked, completely you go through it, and very soon we will have a test on this particular lesson also. The date and the day will be known to you, I mean in future, but complete the lesson, you revise it, and after the revision, so complete the notes. And today is I mean Saturday, and tomorrow Sunday. So by Monday, I want the complete the notes, the photocopy to be sent to me. Okay, so complete it, and Monday without fail. Okay, Monday without fail, it has to be sent to me. Okay, where so I'll just check it whether you have completed or not. Okay, so that's about the powers and functions of Parliament, so which we are having it. So next class, so we will go with the new lesson, either civics or history. Thank you.